Good morning, everyone. Welcome to MageCONF 2019. I'm Slava Kravchuk, CEO of Adwix, who organized the conference this year, and welcome one more time. I wanted to take you on a little history tour today, but before I start, one important thing is the hashtag. The hashtag is MageConf. Please use it on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, all the social networks. Please share your experience here with your friends. It's really important. I hope you remember this hashtag. And now let's talk a little bit. How old is MageConf? Who knows when it all started? 2009? The earliest I found was 2011. But for sure we can ask those guys probably. This is pictures of speakers from 2012. And actually we have those speakers still in 2019. All of them, they will share their stories with you. And the thing is that tradition keeps going. MageConf started a while ago, many years ago, but today we have over 600 people at the event from more than 10 countries, and this is great. This is great tradition. And you might be wondering, what's Ukrainian role in Magento? Why Ukraine is so popular among Magento community, Magento people, and this probably would take us back a while, as Magento was started here. Probably in Ukraine many people know this, but internationally it's not that well-known fact. But Magento had an office here from the beginning. The whole platform was developed here, and this is what it looked like in around 2009, 10 years ago. This is again some part of Magento team there, and we still have people in the room from back there. It's amazing. Then it continued here. Magento had a presence for a while. Magento hosted MageConf, hosting Dare to Share meetups, developing Ukrainian community, and MageConf, this conference, was a big part of this development. And recently, as you know, last year, Magento had moved their office to United States, and the story went on, but it didn't finish. So the story still goes on, and today we have this continuation, and big thanks to Magento for letting this tradition continue, and MageConf still be part of Ukrainian community. So let's give a round of applause for Magento. So it doesn't end at the event. The Ukrainian involvement is not just related to events, of course. How Ukraine keeps going on is community engineering. The community engineering is, as you probably all know, Magento's initiative that let us all contribute to Magento, that let us all be part of Magento, let us all develop Magento. And this initiative is so successful that nowadays over the half of core code of Magento 2 is developed by community. So we all, our community, we create Magento now. And here Ukraine plays a huge role. If you would look at individuals, contributors ranking, you would see that there are 5 Ukrainians out of top 10 contributors. If you look at Magento maintainers, again, there are 5 Ukrainians in top 10 out of 10 top maintainers of this year. If you look at the ratings of companies, 3 companies out of top 5 have offices in Ukraine. So Ukraine plays a huge role in developing Magento and developing our community. So yesterday we hosted a contribution day alongside this conference. And if you never took part in this kind of event, in contribution day, this is something I for sure recommend you doing next time, because this is a great opportunity to connect with Magento, to work alongside Magento engineers, Magento maintainers, brightest mind of the community. You can work together with them on exciting features that will be part of Magento. And yesterday, we set a record. We had over 100 contributors at a single location, and this appears to be the biggest contribution day so far offline. Here in Kiev, yesterday, we set this record. So again, applause to us. But going back to events, it appears that we also have in Ukraine the biggest technical Magento event, which is MageCONF. As I mentioned, we have over 600 people here, and I'm proud that our event is becoming more international. Now, 3/4 of content here is in English. So it's becoming accessible not just for Ukrainian community and not just for Russian or Ukrainian speaking people, but also for people all over the world who can join us here. Could you raise your hand if you're not from Ukraine? Okay, so thank you very much for coming here and supporting our community. The question is, what next? We have contributions, we have an event, but how can Ukrainian community be a part of the global community? How can we deliver our wishes, our aspirations, our messages in the world? And this is something that Magento Association can help us with. If you know, Magento Association has been started early this year. It's a pretty new organization, but what it intends to be, in short, it intends to be a platform for our voices. It intends to be a home for the community. And this is the platform that would let us take part in Magento in a broader aspect. So while signing up for MageCONF, there was a checkbox where you could indicate if you would like to join the Magento Association. If you put this checkbox in, please check your email, and there you will find a link to sign up for the association. But you don't have to wait for the link. You can join. It's free. For now, it's free. There are no fees, and you would get benefits as a member going forward. Of course, there are questions about the association, like okay, what is it doing? Like, what's the purpose of association? Maybe there are some skeptics because they don't see some quick results. But the truth is that this is a new organization. It needs some time and it needs our help. So we need to join it if we want to represent Ukraine in the whole global Magento community. We need to be a part of this association already. So when the initiatives get rolled out, we are already there and we can take part of them. So I ran a quick stats there on the membership. And right now, Ukraine represents 7.2% in the association. And I think this number should be bigger, looking at the impact we have worldwide. So you can sign up at magentoassociation.org/sign up. Again, you don't lose anything. There are no obligations. You can only help the community, and you can only help your development by doing this. So please, if you put the checkbox, check the email, and you can also just go to the link magentoassociation.org/sign up and join. I would like to sincerely thank our sponsors, because sponsors are very, very important for any event. Anybody who ever organized an event would understand that it takes really a lot of time, it takes a lot of resources to make an event, and support of the ecosystem, support of the community is very crucial and vital. So I'm really glad that Magento, as a presenting sponsor, supported us big time in hosting this event. So big round of applause to Magento. And also companies like Eltrino, like Vimo, from Ukraine, they supported us here, they made this event possible, and we even have international supporters like Snowdog and Interactive Force, so thank you guys. So this is it with the entry part, and all I want to say is have fun at MageCONF, and here is up to the wonderful day of presentations. And we'll start with Keynote from Magento, which will be led by Max Yekaterynenko and Matthew Zimmerman.
Доброго ранку, Київ! That's it, everything else in English, sorry. I'm very glad to be here, and yeah, we have the slide. Last year, we had office in Kyiv, right? And this year we're already out of Ukraine. Actually, only office, and we have a lot of thousands of people still, working with Magento and Magento. It's been 15 months since Adobe acquired Magento, and I think last year it was a lot of question about what it means, how it's going to affect entire community, how it's going to affect product itself, and the product everyone loves and everyone working on. And 15 months later, we're here. And by the way, it's a bunch of Magento employees here coming from Austin to support, collaborate, have conversation, and do a lot of presentations. And so far, we're going good. So as you see, Magento is still striving. We have a lot of, code coming in, a lot of improvements, and a lot of new features going forward. But what it means, like what and how Magento evolve within big Adobe corporation. Earlier this year, during Adobe Summit in Vegas, we announced a new product called Adobe Commerce Cloud, and I think it's shake a little bit word, like, oh, what it means. Doesn't mean Magento going away, doesn't mean we don't have any more Magento 2. And matter of fact, no, it's just our response for high-level enterprise customers, which in majority cases work with Adobe. But as a platform, at basis, it's still Magento. It's Magento Commerce Cloud. And there's a lot of clouds in Adobe. You don't even can imagine. Each time I read some different groups, they have a cloud. There is three different pillars of three big subdivisions in Adobe. One is Creative Cloud. Everyone knows Photoshop, right? Everything related to artists and content creation is called Creative Cloud. There is Document Cloud. Everyone knows PDF. And Adobe Sign, there is a subset of products, so it's Document Cloud. And there is what we call Adobe Experience Cloud. It's everything related to content management, marketing. And as you see, one of the new areas which Adobe acquired with Magento is BK Commerce. So Magento Stand is its related own product line within digital experience, and we call it Adobe Experience Cloud. And as you see, again, Magento Commerce, which is Magento 2, which we used to call Magento Enterprise, is a platform on it. And also have a lot of cool stuff around, and we're going to share a little bit more about this. But matter of fact, it's still the same Magento. It's still people, and Slava showed these old pictures, and I was on one of them, it's 2011. How young I was those time. So, in terms of roadmap, in terms of everything we're doing with Magento, we keep doing the same. We defined three directions when we're going to work for next year, and it was working this year, and it's superior shopping experience, omnichannel, commerce intelligence, which pretty new stuff, and I'm going to share a little bit, and it's fancy buzzword, but it has a lot of cool technology behind, which I hope everyone made chance to use. And definitely our platform, which open source Magento, and Vibrate ecosystem, which is part of all this, right? This is all our direction. It's our plan, which we still working and will work for the next few years. Progressive web apps, right? For last year, I think it was biggest loud word which was supported and promoted by Google. And matter of fact, we work a lot of. We spent a lot of our efforts on progressive apps. And also, most respectful analytic agencies, predict by 2020 about half of all mobile applications going to use PWA instead of a native one, unless there is particular needs. And also, it's not buzzword. It's really technology which allow increase the performance and create new standards of development. And if you think about it, it's like headless, right? You start working, and we do a lot of GraphQL implementation. When we can disconnect our front end, in PWA allow us to do very fancy, very nice experience. And with the release of PWA Studio, it's for all of you allowed to quickly, easily create this PWA front end for Magento. Our team, our front-end team and PWA team invest a lot of efforts communicated with worldwide community. and Google itself to understand what we need to develop and deliver to make all these tools easy to use and have this developer experience raised. And we have already a subset of SIs, partners, who implement it, run it, and show significant results in performance and overall satisfaction of customers. So it's pretty cool stuff. We're working on it. If you don't try it, try it. It's pretty amazing how you start, do different development in web world. Yep. This new project, and again, we're part of Adobe, and there is a lot of products, cool products in Adobe, which we're trying to integrate. And Adobe Stock is Asset Manager, is basically for artists and photographers' ability to sell their work and provide this content for clients. And we did integration with our media gallery. So it means for customers and merchants who has heavily related on marketing content and they need to update it. And content-driven sales is pretty high right now. It's simplify life when they can connect to Stock and pull this data without trying to use different tools or upload files on the servers. And what I'm proud of, it was built and still working in progress by our community, together with community engineering team. And definitely page builder, right? We released it 2.3.1, and we show good feedback from our merchants. It's a low increase in speed of creation of content 10 times. And actually Asset Managers, which I mentioned before, complemented. What else we're doing? B2B, again, about 60% of entire sales of Magento right now is somehow related to B2B or hybrid B2B sales. So our team is still involved, and actually not on our team, it's all the partners together again with our community engineering team working on improvements B2B functionality and B2B capabilities. And now this buzzword, right? Commerce intelligence. In fact, right now Magento as a company, we have great opportunity to start to use new paradigm of development and software evolution. Adobe Sensei. Who heard about Adobe Sensei? Okay. Not much people. Adobe Sensei is machine learning artificial intelligence technology which produced by Adobe, which allow gather analyze content from thousands of sources. And you see it's integrated with tons of different products, which allow customers use these insights to boost and enhance their sales and business. And what we're doing right now, we do integration Magento Commerce product recommendation with Adobe Sensei. We have our speaker, Jonathan Roder, our principal scientist, who works on this integration. He's going to have a presentation later. If you're interested in what it means, how it works, feel free to join. And we keep investing in platform and collaboration, partnership and collaboration. It's our pillars. That's how Magento evolved. That's how entire community was built. And that's how we're going to next in our generation of products. Because all of you and most, like 1,000 people worldwide, promote Magento, develop Magento, contributing to Magento to make our merchants satisfied and happy to have best e-commerce platform in the world. Masters. So 4 years in a row, we nominate 20 people from entire worldwide community to be those members who most active, most popular, and promote members worldwide and do a lot of contribution to the ecosystem itself. It's not only code contributors, but the point I put this page, 3 out of 20 this year is from Ukraine, which is amazing. That's another proof Ukraine is has biggest and most talented people in the world. My humble opinion, being Ukrainian. Community journey. Slava mentioned a little bit. We're still investing in this group. Just 2017, when we founded it, became, I would say, revolutionary progress how community interact. It's a connection between Magento core engineering teams and entire developer ecosystem itself. We keep investing, we keep doing these contribution days, and we see great results. If you're going to see like year over year, quarter over quarter, we have increase of our amount of engagement. In comparison with last year, like 130% increase, 65 growth in new contributors. And but matter what, we doubled down our number of maintainers this year, which lead to 10-time increase of pull request processing. And it's all compliment to people who lead a maintainer and also all contributors who doing all this stuff. Magenta, a really unique ecosystem, a very unique product in the entire open source community. I working with a lot of people from Apache Foundation, from different open source projects, Red Hat, and when I talk how Magenta evolved and being commercial product, they ask me how it works, what do you do? You pay all these people? Like, yeah, maybe it's short sometimes, but overall it's like people just, trying to put the products they love, next level, next stage. Oops. By the way, later this year, I think in October 22nd, we have biggest Magenta event in Europe, Magenta Live. We're also going to have contribution day, which is going to gather a lot of people. We already have about 100 registered people. If you're going to be around, I highly recommend you to join and participate, and you're going to see a lot of new content, new ideas, and new announcements we're going to make. With this, I'm going to ask Matt Zimmerman is Director of Engineering, the one guy who right now leads entire commerce product. He's going to share details. Thanks.
Good morning. So I wanted to start off with a few updates that have been driven on, really been driven through a lot of partner conversations, a lot of developers that we've talked to over the last year. So starting with our Q3 release, we're introducing a couple of changes, really oriented towards security. So the first of those changes is around providing a pre-release period for partners and for customers with commerce to have the packages available so they can begin looking at the upgrade cycle. They can understand what the fixes are, how much time it's going to take, and really, make sure that they have a progress forward in getting those features pulled in. So this started this week, so it's very fortuitous with MageCONF this week. So on Tuesday, we actually released those packages externally. So if you have a normal commerce entitlement, you have access now to the 233 pre-release packages. And this timeline kind of highlights the difference in this approach versus what we were doing previously. So typically what would happen previously is we would send out an email announcement a week ahead of time saying, hey, we're getting ready to release our quarterly patch. Now, that email announcement went out 3 weeks ahead of time. 2 weeks ahead of time, we've now released the fixes. These are the full GA, the general availability released packages that you can take, adopt, and deploy. There we go. All right, perfect. I think. There we go. So in addition to the early preview, we're introducing a security-only patch. So again, through this feedback cycle, a lot of the conversation we've had, we understand how heavy the quarterly patches can be to upgrade for clients. So starting with 233's, with this Q3 release, we're also releasing a 232 P1 patch that provides all of the security fixes in 233 for 232. We're only doing this on the 2.3 line moving forward, but the goal is that you'll be able to follow a couple of different methodologies in patching. You can either always take the full quarterly patch, or you can take the hot fix, this cumulative patch, security only. You can take that every other quarter. This way, we're hoping this really helps streamline the patching process. All right, so what does this look like? So the F stands for functional bug fixes, the S stands for security-only bug fixes. So in a normal cycle, it would be, we released 2.3.2 in June, we released 2.3.3 in October, 2.3.4, you always had to take the patch to get the security fixes, but you also got all of the functional fixes as well. Now, I know this seems like a crazy diagram, I'll walk you through it. So now with 2.3.2 P1 being available, you can take that fix and apply it directly against your 2.3.2 installation and have all of the same security fixes that are available in 2.3.3. So this should, we're hoping, really streamline your ability to upgrade and get customers secure very rapidly. The expectation, though, is that when 2.3.4 is released, that you'll have to move back up to 2.3.4 or upgrade to 2.3.3 because we're not releasing a security hotfix. It's always going to work with more than one minor version. More than one patch version back. So, you know, you can take it every other quarter with the security only, and then in the intermediate quarters you can take the full patch, or you can, you know, follow the line of quickly hotfixing to get the security releases out there, and then maybe taking a more methodical approach to looking at the rest of the security fixes. So in this case, we highlight, there we go. We can highlight that if you were taking 2.3.3 and you would get a front-end performance fix and then a cross-site scripting fix, versus if you take the 2.3.2 P1, you're just going to get that cross-site scripting fix. Again, really focused on making sure that we're only releasing those security fixes together. And then if you get to the point you're taking 2.3.3 P1, you see that at the point you take 2.3.3 P1, you're now going to have that front-end security fix because you would have had to upgrade to from 2.3.3 in order to take that hot fix. So there's no one-size-fits-all solution here. We are planning to release these fixes quarterly as we move forward, and we're really looking at how we're enabling you all to best support our customers. So this is kind of the business as usual as we talked about, where you just are taking the normal quarterly patches, going from 2.3.2 to 2.3.3 to 2.3.4. In this case, this is really what we think is going to be a great enabler for you all. So in order to try and drive a little lower total cost of ownership, you can go from that 2.3.2 fix to the 2.3.2 P1 patch to 2.3.4, thereby at least 2 times a year only having to focus on those security upgrade onlys. And then this is the more complicated path that we can see people taking, which is really get secure fast. As soon as the hotfix is available, deploy the hotfix, get that released, and then focus on doing the full patch upgrade. Again, this is a little bit more involved, but it's a good path as well to continue making sure that we keep the sites healthy and in a current version. A few relevant reminders to go around how we release software. So we tend to do minor releases every year and a half. So we released 2.3 in December of last year. So we expect, the 2.4 to be middle of next year, late next year. Then we've established a quarterly release patch. This has been a little bit challenging for you to understand exactly what day quarterly patches are going to come out. In the next few months, we'll actually announce ahead of time what days we're going to drop the quarterly patches. So whether it's Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, you're going to understand well ahead of time when to expect the patches. Following the Microsoft Tuesday model, right? Every month when Microsoft's going to drop patches. So we're going to make that more predictable for you. We also have SaaS modules. So whether it's our order management, our business intelligence product, or our channels, these are products we're delivering the SaaS experience, and these get continuously upgraded. So these are not touching core at all. These are completely SaaS-driven experiences. And then finally, we have the hotfix model. And this is really where we determine we've got a critical fix. We need to get this fix out. It can't wait for the next release of the quarterly fixes. This is a very rare model that we use, but you get those instances where we need to get the fixes out there very fast. And these are the ones that you'll find where we're addressing single issues. So this is a really important change we made with 2.3 on the end of support policy. Rather than establishing when the end of support date for 2.3 would be when we launched it, we decided to change it and really anchor it based off of the next date. So 2.3's end of support date isn't established until we release 2.4. And at that point, it's 18 months. So there's 12 months of security, there's 12 months of functional fixes, and then another 6 months of security fixes. So as you can see in this model, we're essentially providing, if we were to release 2.4 in Q1 of next year, we would be providing almost 3/4 additional, so almost 9 months additional support for 2.3 versus what we did for 2.2, what we did for 2.1. So 2.3 is a long-term support version today. If you have customers running 2.0, if you have customers running 2.1, if you have customers running 2.2, I highly advise working towards getting them on 2.3. It's the most stable version that we've got. It's the most performant version that we've got. We're committed to supporting that for the foreseeable future. So again, the key takeaways here is around the pre-announcement for the commerce releases for SIs and commerce customers. The security-only patches that are in there, right, really enables faster time to market. And the security-only patch being based off of the previous quarter's release. So again, this is for 2.3 only. We're not doing this at all for 2.2. All right, so looking ahead, as you look at what capabilities we're working on right now, and some of these are already starting to get into early access. Some of them are community-driven in nature, and some of these we expect to drop early in the year next year. So product recommendations powered by Sensei. Max covered this a little bit. I highly suggest attending Jonathan Roeder's presentation, but this is machine learning driven product recommendations. They are actively collecting data today and building the models out. I think we're now up to 4 different models that they proved out so far. They're really looking for hitting the early access by the end of the year with a general availability release next year. Ratings and reviews by Yotpo. So this will be a bundled extension that we'll be adding into the product. Page build extensibility. And the PWA integration. So this is actively underway. We've actually already finished the POC for this, and the teams are rapidly iterating on that page builder and PWA integration. Adobe Stock, community-driven project. I'm sure we had some work going on, some of the pull requests yesterday that were helping drive that. B2B approval workflows. And thresholds. So again, continuing to expand our B2B capabilities in the gaps that we hear and go out and address. Commerce dashboards and Sensei-driven monitoring in Adobe Analytics. So this really gets into where we talk about the Adobe Commerce Cloud space, where more and more of the products within digital experience are pulled in to help magnify that investment that already exists. And then within the Commerce Cloud, adding Azure support. So today we have AWS support for every region. By the beginning of the year, we'll have full Azure support. So we really talk about the roadmap around these four pillars of superior experiences, omni-channel innovation, and commerce intelligence, an open cloud platform and vibrant ecosystem. So within this is where we're talking about the investments in Page Builder, the investments in PWA, the investments in GraphQL. These are integrated investments to push the offering forward, push the experiences, right? It's about building those superior experiences forward. The Adobe stock integration to provide richer visuals, rating and reviews from Yotpo, right? Really driving those superior experiences. Within omni-channel, we're working on multi-tender and exception management. Within shopping and ad channels, right? We'll have an announcement next month around the support of Amazon Marketplace for the UK being the next rollout within the Amazon Marketplace integration. Product recommendations powered by Sensei, the B2B commerce dashboards. For cloud, we're looking at intelligent horizontal and vertical scaling, log aggregation and monitoring, and the multi-cloud support with Azure.
You told about Adobe Sensei, and I would like to ask, will this integration be paid for user or free? Sensei recommendations.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be paid because it's targeted enterprise customer and it's very extensive technology behind. But again, Jonathan Roeder are going to present details, and feel free to go over there, ask him questions. He's a smart guy, he knows a lot about this. Okay, with the time, we're going to have session. We're going to have ability to ask us. For now, please enjoy the conference. We have a bunch of people who came from Magento, Adobe Office. Take this opportunity to chat with everyone, ask questions, have fun, and we're going to be here during the day, and we're going to have final session by the end of the day. We're going to talk about. Thank you.
That's really lovely.